Alright. I don't have a nickname for my followers on this channel. On my kicking up with my Kroskis, I call them my Kroskineers. Just kind of a joke thing. And on my Truth Talk with Timon, I call them my Truthsayers. Real Truthsayers, not Trumpsters. And then on this channel, I don't know, I just call my fellow cookies. The cookies is a word of a barbecue sauce. So I gotta think of something for a nickname. But to all my followers and fellow cooks and those who like my my recipes, the ones I share from the Navy and from countries that I went to, the recipes that I acquired and all that stuff. And I apologize about my purple cabbage soup, about my ultimate cabbage soup. That did not turn out the way I anticipated. I was using my old camera. It turned out to be an epic fail, and I apologize about that one. I was going to show how to cut up all the cabbage, how to cut up all the vegetables for it, and everything. But you do have a recipe on that video of how to make it. If you do try those or any of my recipes, let me know and let me know how you like them. Okay? But I call myself Chef Kroski. I do have a Culinary Arts Degree from Johnson & Wales University. And of 12 of my 26 years in the U.S. Navy, I was a cook. Okay. My recipe for today is called Retro Mac and Cheese. I'll keep the video playing. You see, I already started shredding some of this cheese. Now you wanna use a block. I wish I could find some old aged Gouda or some aged cheese that they would have back in the 1800s. But I do love my Kobe Jack and my mac and cheese, so I'm using the Kobe Jack. And I have this old handheld cheese grater. Probably haven't seen one of these kind in a long while. And I just put it over top of a small bowl, and I just grate my cheese. I actually use this, literally go across the whole thing and just grate my cheese. That's not a bit. I'll break the box. If they break, it's gonna break. It will all work. It's all good. Really, you want to age the cheese, get it a little harder before you grate it. I hope this turns out. This is my first time making the retro style. I'm making homemade noodles on this very small roller. I'm also going to be making homemade noodles in my next video. My next video is going to be logging soup, homemade logging soup. I'm going to show how to make the noodles on that one. So you can see it is pretty much just grated in small pieces in here. I'm going to just finish it up real quick. I didn't want to spend the whole video grating, so I grated some beforehand. You got to be careful when you get to the edge, of course, because it will kind of hurt your fingers a little bit. Or you can take the grater, if I had the block, or you can take the grater, let it go across the block, hold the grater, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, there you go. That will all melt down anyway. All melt down anyway. Okay, next will be my noodle part. I'll see you in that part. I'm going to be pouring out the noodles on this stand. Alright, I am in my walker. Just in case I start losing my balance a little bit. On that one video I was doing for you guys, I was making a retro style goulash from a family that I met in Ukraine. And towards the end of that video, I got the bad shakes. Sadly, I'm on a new drug regimen from the Veterans Administration, and my shakes and my balance have been better. So getting under control. My main channel, I'm going to be doing some karate exercises and stuff next month. Gradually getting back into the game, getting myself moving again, doing the stuff I love to do. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys see my pierogi video. Hope my head ain't getting cut off. But as you can see my hands, that's the important thing right here. Anyway. We gotta have a good face. Trying to do a movie quote. I still have some of those Christmas movies in my head. I love the remake of the Lake on 34th Street. I'm using up the rest of this flour. The rest of it's in a bin. And, I'll put as much as I can in the bin, because you don't want to keep it in a bag. It makes a big mess in the cupboard. Okay. I'm kind of oil my hands a little bit. I know, this is kind of weird. So I'm rubbing oil on my hands. My oil rolling pin. I also have my dough cutter. And then it sticks. Okay. You do the cup of flour. You're going to make the hole. You're going to make the hole wider on this one, because you're going to put 2 eggs in this hole. You put 2 eggs in this hole. Right? A cup plus more. It will be a little bit more heavy as I go. Okay. I'm going to sprinkle it with don't want the eggs to fall. That would be an epic fail. Sprinkle salt. Basically, I'm making the same noodles as I do with my pierogies. Except I'm adding 2 eggs instead of 1. The pierogi video was done way back in 2010, 2011 time frame. It was right after my rehabs, my initial rehabs after I got injured in the military, and right after I got my disabilities. And I was moving around pretty good, but now it's getting a little bit worse. Because of my, I didn't do a drop bucket. I didn't do a trash bucket like I usually do. Of my traumatic brain injury, making things a little bit worse. This is when I use my little bit of flour. I'm going to catch that egg. don't want to, you want to work that egg in. You want to work that egg in. That's actually what I'm going to do first. Work that egg in. Just going to sit down a little bit. I was going to have my radio on and listen to music as I did this, but it was hard for me to try to do it out of one ear. I do have one ear still with my radio on in my ear, but my radio's off. I turned it off. Okay, now my water getting too hot. Of course it is. See, I'm going to pinch this egg. I'm going to work that egg in. I'm going to pinch it. Work it in. And some of the recipes I was looking up, they were just handwritten recipes, and they were very simple. There wasn't a lot of detail. 1 cup of this, that, and the other. It was just like add flour, add an egg to it, mix it in. It didn't have a lot of detail. So the ladies had to really probably experiment back then for how to make it. Like I was looking up one about an old biscuit that was done really in a cast iron pan on a fire. I was like, wow. And then I found a video of it on YouTube. I was like, that was interesting. And so I said, man, I want to do some retro cooking ideas. So I wanted to start out with this. And just hope it works out, guys. But I'll do what you do when I work this egg in. I do know that much. You don't want the egg to streak through it. You want to, work it in good with the flour first before you add that water. My hands are going to be sticky at first. That's why I tried to flour them as much as I could. Now I'm going to try to make another area I can put some water down on. I know I'm kind of just talking on the camera, but people that's listening out there, I mean, how was your guys' holidays? How was your Christmas? I mean, what you guys make for Christmas? If you get on my main channel, you see what I made for Christmas. I made a full Polish feast. As a picture, in fact, the picture is of a smorgasbord. You can see the actual picture of the smorgasbord. It is hilarious. Maybe on top here. See, I'm working it. It's starting to make a dough. When I work it in, eventually we'll make a dough ball. Now, if you're making a biscuit, if you're making this into a hard biscuit, you do want to add some yeast to it, and then you want to, let it rise a little bit, and you want to put it in the fridge. But since I'm just making a flat noodle, I don't have to do all that. I can put the link below of my Christmas video on my main channel. That I'll do that. See, I told you I was going to make start making a nice dough ball. See, doesn't take much. You just work with the hand. Your hands are going to get messy. They are going to get messy. That is inevitable. This way I have to clean up with my dough cutter. See, we'll have to clean it up. Don't want too many holes in it. I'm going to fold it one more time. Okay, see how I folded it? Fold it in half, and fold it in half. And then you just push it in. Put it in half, push it in. some loose flour on here. I'm going to try to roll it around a little bit on that loose flour. It doesn't stick too much. I'm going to dust this. Dust this with some flour. Got it? It should be ready to roll anyway. Push it out as much as you can. Dust it here. That way the bottom's dusted. Roll in there. Now I'm going to do my best, guys. Wish me luck. You remember when I did my program one back in 2010, I had a bigger table. It was in a different style of kitchen. I do like this kitchen better. I like it out here in New Mexico. I love the country. When I did my program one, I was in Illinois by the Mississippi River. Very cold winter that year too. Not so cold during the Christmas. We had some snow, but I do remember the snow. But we got a lot of snow after Christmas. But man, look at what's going on right now in this world. Ooh, there's snow everywhere. Everywhere. What do I need? One of those long, thin ones you can put the weight on. Got my walker. Here's my balance one. I'm only doing a because when I looked at one of the recipes, it was like 4 cups of flour, and there's a picture of like a big flat board, and this whole thing was filled up with dough. See, I don't have a board that big. I wouldn't even be able to do 2 cups. I could barely do 1. Let's see. Like this is all I'm doing. I'm doing the one. We want that to fall big. I'm pushing down and pulling the dough. Pulling the dough. I want it to get up. I broke it over. I want it to be as thin as I can. As thin as you can. And it won't be even long strip shapes anyway. I'll show you how I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it, about 2 fingers, see? And these are going to be okay because I'm just going to cut it, because they're going to cut smaller like this. See, like this? I'm going to kind of roll the dough like that. And going to fold the dough over. And that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that all the way down. Okay? I'm going to get to these longer pieces. Right here. And here's a long piece. That one kind of broke it. See, cut it in thirds. Cut it in thirds. And even this piece here, I'm going to cut that bigger one in half. But I only want them about this big. About that long. And we're just going to kind of roll it like this. That's it. Just cut it and roll it like that. That's all I'm going to do. See you in the next part. Alright, my friends. Here's my mac and cheese. My macaroni noodles. Here's the cheese. That'll be grated earlier. Okay? Now it doesn't look like a typical Kraft macaroni and cheese noodle that didn't come out to the, I want to say World War II era. But This is retro. Okay, this is what George Washington ate when he sent one of his cooks over to France to learn how to cook. He brought back a mac and cheese recipe. George Washington loved it so much, that he would show it to the high class in the White House at that time. We'd actually serve it in the White House. That's part of the history of it, right? And so, you take your noodles like I did, and you boil them, put them in the boiling water. Got my walker behind me, in case I lose my balance. Now, it took me a while here because I had to clean up. I probably could have done another batch, but I didn't. But this is going to be enough for my wife and I. It's just my wife and I. It's just a small batch for like a light dinner tonight. And to that, you're going to add salt, of course. You want the salt and water. Always want to salt and water. Now, this, I guess you could start it like this, see, because it's a heavier noodle. A light noodle, I would just put a handful of salt, a palmful. You let it cook until the noodles float. I moved the camera a little bit. I hope it's working. See the noodles floating, water boiling? That's what you want. You're not going to drain this. Not draining this. This is retro. You're actually going to add the cheese and butter right to this. I'm going to turn it down though to like medium heat. Hope you can see the top of this. I angled the hammer the best I could. A quart of butter. Like I said, this is not the Kraft mac and cheese. Add that cheese to this. It cooks really fast, don't it, guys? See, right in the cheese. I don't know if you can see it with my arm. If my arm got blocking the camera a little too much. Here's the cheese. You can actually just stir that in. Let it melt, let it melt. That's why you use a harder cheese usually with something like this one. Parmesan. Lots of Parmesan. Next time I'm going to do the harder cheese. You can see the cheese didn't work out as much. Put a splash of milk. And there's my retro mac and cheese, guys. I'm going to let it cook down and show it to you on the table. See it in the pan. Don't it look good? There you go. There's a close-up. See the cheese? See the noodles? Oh my God. And the cheese does kind of melt in it. That's what it looked like in the picture online of the retro cookbook. And then of course, I'm sure there's YouTube videos. I want to try to find a YouTube video of this and see how theirs turned out. This is my version, I'm sure they probably used a harder cheese that probably didn't chunk like that, probably didn't melt like that, probably just melted in the liquid. That's why they used to dry, like Parmesan was one of them, and like a really hard dried cheese, a white dried cheese, and then they put that in there. But this is what the retro mac and cheese is. We're gonna give it a shot. Hope you enjoyed this cooking video. Here's the retro mac and cheese, guys. Let me give it a shot. Let me know if you want me to make you the modern style mac and cheese with the creamy sauce and herbal noodles. Next video will be moonwalk. Mugging soup. See you then.